All right. It's the moment you've been waiting for. It's time to blow stuff up. First thing I'm going to do, however, I'm going to go to my game layout and go to the scoreboard layer. I need to add a tiled background. A tiled background is an object that repeats an image vertically and horizontally. I'm going to use a heart for my tiled background from my Shark game assets. All right. This heart is 32 pixels wide. So what I need to do is I need to size my tiled background so that it's 32 times 5. I'm going to be using this tiled background to indicate the health of the alien. Every time the alien's health goes down, I'm going to subtract 32 pixels from the tiled background. Let's take a look at how it is. As you can see, the hearts are kind of grainy. I have a solution for this. Go back to Construct 2, and you want to go up to your platformer project or whatever project you're working on and change sampling to linear. If you do that, save your project and launch the game again, you'll see that the image is much clearer. Now that's more like it. I'm still just getting things set up. So the next thing I'm going to want to do, I'm going to put a power gem on the content layer. So I need another sprite. Let's lock the scoreboard, unlock content, make sure the content layer is selected. And I'm going to put it about right there. Insert new object, sprite. Let's call it Power Gem. I'm going to get this Power Gem sprite from the Kenny donation assets. It's in the base pack under items. Platformer assets, base pack, items. Let me see if I can preview them. And I want gem red. There we are. I'm going to place it right there. I'm going to be using this gem later when the alien collides with it. Let's crop it real quick. There we go. When the alien collides with it, he's going to become invincible, and he's also going to change to a animation where he has a sword. It's going to be pretty cool. All right. I have my health meter. I have my power gem. Now, I need some explosions. I'm going to create an explosion sprite. And once again, using Kenny's assets, I'm going to create an animation using the explosions that Kenny has. If you go to the crowdfunding pack, you're going to find that there's an explosion pack. Go under PNG. I'm going to use regular explosion. These are really cool. As you can see, Kenny has these so that they'll make a perfect animation. So I'm going to take all of the regular explosion images and I'm going to add them to my explosion object's default animation. I know working with this animation editor can be cumbersome at times, but it's totally worth it. You'll see throughout this video how I struggle with it. The trick here is that we have a frame for each phase in the explosion. And then what I do is I put a blank, empty frame at the end of my animation. I'm deciding to use an animation for my explosion rather than particles. All right. Just want to make sure I include each one just once. There I am. Now I'm back on track. Looks like I need one more. And then like I said before, I'm going to keep an empty blank frame at the end of the explosion animation. I'm going to place this off the screen. And let's go back. One more thing. Let's speed up the animation to 30, and it should not loop. All right, so far so good. All right, on to the fireball. Kenny's assets also come with a couple cool fireballs. So let's insert a new object. Sprite. Let's call it Fireball. I'm going to be getting this Fireball from the regular Kenny donation pack. Once again in the base pack under items. And there it is, Fireball. Not quite sure how big this thing is. This one looks like it's 70 by 70. I'll try that. If it doesn't work out later on, I'll put in a bigger Fireball. All right. Now here's the part I struggle with. I want to take my Fireball and I want to create an animation for it that has 4 frames. I need to rotate the Fireball so that when the animation plays, it looks like the Fireball's spinning. And as you can see, I struggle with the editor a little bit. Sometimes what I do is I just duplicate all the frames, and then I'll come in and I'll rotate each one. It's annoying because you don't get to see the effect of your rotation until you switch to another frame. Now I've got everything just where I want it. I'm going to make sure that this default animation loops because we want the Fireball to continually spin. Okay. Once again, I've placed this Fireball off of the screen because I'm going to create fireballs that seem to fall from the sky. I'm going to add the bullet behavior to my Fireball. All right, I'm going to leave all the default properties. Excellent. Now we're going to do some coding. I'm going to add a global variable called health, which is going to track the health level of the alien as he goes through the game. So I'm going to go to my game sheet. I'm going to right click, add global variable. I'm going to call it health. I'm going to get an initial value of 5. And this is going to track my player's strength. Okay, time to make it rain. Let's add an event. System. Every 1 second. Every 1 second, we are going to dynamically create an object. We're going to create fireballs. We will be creating those on the content layer. We will be creating fireballs using the alien's X coordinate, and then we will add a random number to his X coordinate. That number may be negative or positive to determine where horizontally on the screen fireballs will come from. By using a random number that ranges from negative to positive, we will randomize fireballs so that they come from the alien's left and the alien's right. We use the window width to limit the range of horizontal values from which the fireballs can come. The Y coordinate will be 0 because this means the top of the screen. So we are randomizing whether the fireballs come from the left or right of the alien by using this code. Okay. Let's change some of the bullet properties for the fireball. We are also going to randomly select the angle from which the fireballs will come. We're going to choose a range between 25 and 170 degrees. Once again, this will randomize the angle from which the fireballs will travel. We will also set the speed to 200 for our fireballs, so they will come too quickly nor too slowly. All right. We got to stay organized, so let's add a group. Let's call it danger. Our danger group is going to include all the code that has to do with anything that could hurt Chuck. And make sure that you place the event inside there. Let's press save, and let's see what happens. All right, there's Chuck. We've got a little hearts, and we've got little fireballs coming down. Some are coming from the left of Chuck, some are coming from the right, and they're coming at all different types of angles. Pretty much at the same speed, but for me, they're not quite big enough, and I don't think that the fireball's rotating fast enough either. So those are two things that we need to address. But otherwise, I'm happy with my random fireball code. Go, Chuck, go. All right, back to our code. And let's go ahead and fix the fireball. There's a bigger fireball out there, I know it. I'm going to search through my assets and my platformer directory. Whoa, there's the big fireball. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to redo this animation. Okay, I'm back. Let's play the game. Yes. Now those are fireballs. As you can see, the fireballs just kind of rain down right now. We'll be adding code to destroy them, to make them explode, and to have them affect Chuck. Okay, one last thing. Let's speed up. The rotation of the fireballs to 10. All right, let's play it one more time. I'm obsessed with getting good looking fireballs, and I think that's pretty good. Once we add some explosion to those, it's going to be really nice. All right. I'm going to do something about that gem as well. Okay, let's insert a new event. So when the fireball collides with anything in the solid family, I want to destroy the fireball for sure. And I also want to create a really cool explosion. So let's go to create object. Let's create an explosion. We're going to be creating the explosion on the content layer. We're going to be creating it at the position of the fireball. So in this case, the X coordinate of the fireball. And then the Y coordinate of the fireball plus a little bit more. This is going to drop the explosion down 25 pixels. Awesome. Let's see what happens. Now, when the fireball collides with the solid, it should blow up. Boom. That's awesome. As you can see, we haven't coded it to where the fireballs affect Chuck, but we'll do that in a minute. Let's insert a new event. And this time, fireball on collision with object alien. And we want to do the same things. We want to destroy the fireball when that happens. And we want to create a really cool explosion. All right. Couple other actions we want to perform here. Every time the fireball collides with the alien, we want to subtract 1 from the health global variable. We also want to change the width of our tiled background. So for the health tiled background, we want to change the width to health.width, the current width, minus the length of each heart, which is 32 pixels. This will give the appearance that the heart has gone away just by changing the width of the tiled background we're using to store our hearts. So now when the fireball collides with Chuck, you'll see the width of the health meter is reduced, which makes it look like the hearts have gone away. Now he's got 2 hearts left. Now he's gone. Oh, look, they're coming back. So we've got some code to add. But as you can see, every time a fireball hits Chuck, the health meter shrinks. Let's create a group called Game Over. This is going to include all the events that can end the game. We're going to put the on collision with barnacle event in there. And then we're going to create another event. We're going to compare the variable health to see whether the alien has run out of health, where health equals 0. And we're going to be doing this continually, always. So we need to add another condition, what's called the every tick condition. So we will always be checking to see whether the global variable has a value of 0. In other words, whether the alien has run out of health. If the alien has run out of health, the first thing we need to do is set health back to 5 so that this code doesn't run continually. Then, just like with on collision with barnacle, we need to destroy the alien, stop the music, play the game over sound, wait a couple of seconds. This allows the game over sound to complete. And then restart the layout. Okay. Now there are two things that can end the game. A collision with the barnacle, or when the alien runs out of health. Let's save. And let's see if we've got it. Alright, here's Chuck. Here comes the fireballs. Ooh, explosion. That one hit Chuck. Now he's got 4 hearts. Now 3. Now 2. He's almost out of health. 1. And the next time, bam. Destroyed the alien and played the sound and restarted the layout. That's exactly what we want. Let's add an instance variable to Chuck. We're going to call it isInvincible. I'm going to do a little advanced thing here. You might want to try this in your game. I'm going to use the power gem to give the alien the ability to withstand fireballs. So I'm going to put an instance variable on the alien to track whether he is invincible or not, whether he has special powers. When the alien collects the gem, we will give him these special powers. Once the alien has special powers, fireballs cannot affect his health. Not only that, he will be given a really cool sword. I've got a bunch of changes to accomplish this. First thing I want to do is I want to create a new group. I want to group my walking animations together. I'm going to have the regular walk animation that we're used to Chuck having, and then I'm going to have a completely different animation that has him with his awesome sword. So I need to change things a little bit. As you can see, I have the events from the original platformer game right now, but I have to get rid of those. What we're going to do is we're going to use the instance variable we assigned to the alien isInvincible to decide which animations should run. So we are going to look for the value of isInvincible. When it is not equal to 1, then that means that the alien has no special powers. So the alien should walk as normal and stand as normal. We're going to add a couple sub-events. If the alien's platformer is moving, then set the animation of the alien to walk. Okay. We need to add an else. So if is invincible is not equal to 1 and that platformer is not moving, then we're going to use the regular default animation, which is the alien standing. But what if the alien is invincible? We're going to need an event for that. Once again, we need to check the alien's is invincible instance variable. When it is equal to 1, in other words, when the alien is invincible, we want completely different animations to play. So let's set this to 1. Let's add some sub-events, very similar to the ones we just added. But this time, when the alien's platformer is moving, we want to play the sword walk animation. This event will also have an else. If the alien is invincible and not moving, then we will play the animation sword stand. That's the alien just standing with his sword. We want to make sure this goes in our animation group. Excellent. Almost. Let's go high. There we are. Couple more changes to make. We're going to add a sub-event to the on collision with alien fireball event. Whenever the fireball collides with an alien, we only want to subtract health if the alien's is invincible value is not equal to 1. So if the alien is not invincible, then subtract from the health global variable and shrink the health tiled background. We also want an on collision with power gem event with the alien. Whenever the alien collides with the power gem, destroy the power gem and set the instance variable is invincible to 1. This is how the alien's invincible value gets set whenever he collides with the power gem. I don't do this enough in the videos, but I think it's really important to add comments to events so that later on you remember what you did. For example, the one we just did, when the alien collides with the power gem, we make him invisible. We do that by setting his is invincible instance variable. Let's do another one. This sub-event, when the fireball collides with the alien, we were doing a check for if the alien's is invincible instance variable is not equal to 1. Because we only want to subtract health from the alien if he is not invincible. All right, that's a lot. Let's see how we did. Fireballs are coming down. When they hit Chuck, they affect his health. As you can see, colliding with the barnacle still ends the game. But now what I want to do, I want Chuck to get the gem. Boom! As you can see, it changes his animation. Now he has a sword. And now, fireballs cannot affect him. See how his health is still at 4 hearts? No matter how many fireballs hit him, he is now invincible. And this is what we wanted to do with all our code changes. The barnacle can still kill him, but with this sword, fireballs cannot affect him. All right. Run to the power gem. Boom. Get the sword. We have perfect health, and fireballs cannot affect us. Go, Chuck, go. I win. You win. We win. Okay. We're going to run this in debug mode. I want you to notice a couple things. Look in the lower left-hand corner. Notice how as the game goes on, the number of explosions just keeps going up. Remember, when the fireballs hit a solid, or when they hit Chuck, they explode. I create an explosion using my explosion sprite, which has an animation. But if I don't get rid of those explosions, they just keep racking up and affecting the performance of the game. What we're going to need to do is we're going to have to add an instance variable to our explosion. I'm going to call mine clean me up. I'm going to make it a number, and initially its value is going to be 0. In other words, initially don't clean the explosion up. By clean up, I really mean destroy, because I don't want hundreds or thousands of objects building up in my game. So let's add the instance variable to explosion. And now, let's set that instance variable right after we create the explosion. We need to do this for both collision of the fireball on solids and collision of the fireball with the alien. Now, I'm going to add an event that cleans up any of my explosions that I leave around. Let's say every 5 seconds, let's look for any explosions whose instance variable, clean me up, is equal to 1. In other words, find all of the explosions that need to be cleaned up, and then destroy them. Let's go ahead and add ourselves a little comment. Just so we can remember what we did. Okay, awesome. And let's go ahead and put this into the danger group, just because it has to do with the explosions. All right. So now every 5 seconds, the code should go in, find any of these explosions I've left hanging around, and it should destroy them. Let's test this in debug mode. Once again, look in the lower left-hand corner for the number of explosions. You'll see that the number goes up and then it goes back down. So explosions build up for a while, and then 5 seconds in, our code runs and cleans up any of the old ones. This way, we never have too many explosions left hanging around. This will save memory in our game and prevent any resource problems. Go, Chuck, go. Now you know how to blow things up. Can't wait to see what you come up with. Have a great day.